Call your family, call your friends. MSI is bonkers already.
Maple gets one, Maple gets two, he looks for three, and he's gonna get it, a triple kill. Here comes Darshan, it's already 4-1, make that five, a triple kill for Darshan.
And Supermassive now continuing the onslaught. There are such low health bars ultimate from Thordrin, two more.
Oh, the blind
picks up one, Naru the other. Faker not gonna be dead. It's a true top barrage and take it all back. And there goes the Nexus.
哇，等 WCD，
闪现连连的一个酷男杀，
我的天！哇，小虎证明了自己单杀了 Faker 这波。
Royal never giving up, never saying die, never surrendering.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Day 3 of the 2016 Mid-Season Invitational, coming to you live from the Oriental Sports Center in Shanghai, China. As you can see here, plenty of people in the crowd with lots of energy. A nice shot of our beautiful venue that is playing host to all of our games. Flash Wolves looking fairly confident as they walk down the halls on their way to their first game of the day. SK Telecom, though, they will be looking to rebound after a poor performance on Day 2. And RNG taking to the stage in front of the home crowd. They sit atop our tables at 4-0. They have to be feeling good after all of that. Hello, everyone. I'm your host, James Dash Patterson, here to break down all the action as it happens. With me is League Master Series Clement Chu, North America's Sam Kobe Hartman Kensler, and from the European LCS, Martin DeFisciolunga, who looks to have plenty of notes today.
It's all the stuff on G2.
These are all the excuses that he's got.
I got you the practice thing here. We can take that one away already. We got the next one lined up.
All right, I love it, I love it, I love it. Well, let's start by taking stock of how the teams are arranged after our first 2 days. As mentioned previously, RNG are undefeated at 4-0 with the LMS's Flash Wolves right behind them at 3-1. Korea's SK Telecom and North America's Counterlogic Gaming are tied at 2-2. Turkey's Supermassive have a win under their belt, while the EU LCS's G2 Esports are in 6th place at 0-4.
Yay!
Yay, there it is. And turning to what we've got in store today, our action kicks off with a table-topping clash between Flash Wolves and Royal Never Give Up. Then the tied CLG and SKT hit the rift, so someone's got to give there. And G2 will look for a much-needed win against Turkey's Supermassive. Gentlemen, in terms of topics today, I want to start with SKT because a dominating performance on Day 1 and honestly, an abysmal one on Day 2.
Yeah, I think SKT, if we look at like each player individually, they didn't show up yesterday at all. We got a few clips running here. First, like a mistake from Blank, falls up. We get a mistake coming in from Duke, flashing too late. You know, we can keep rolling these clips and just see more and more individual mistakes. Faker, of course, start recalling between 2 towers just in a few seconds. And these kind of mistakes we don't normally see from SKT happened yesterday. That's why they fell behind, and then they got outscaled.
Yeah, it was a lot of individual mechanical mistakes to give the lead to Flash Wolves, and then Flash Wolves really took that and ran with it. Very clean macro from them, which people honestly weren't expecting.
Yeah, the Flash Wolves coach, Fluidwin, told them to go super aggressive, because you can't out-macro this SKT, but you can force them to make micro mistakes.
Yeah, or can you? Because ultimately, Flash Wolves take it to 5 Dragons, couple Barons. They played a very, very clean game.
They did, and I also think SKT kind of limits themselves with the compositions they do run right now. Picking Nidalee for Blank, where he's not really showing up on the champion, but it's also about, you know, the team not using the picks they do have.
Yeah, I mean, counter jungling, it's always a team activity. We always talk about this. And also, coming into this, SKT specifically, they were 10th in Korea as far as time spent counter jungling. And Korea was already the lowest region as far as time spent counter jungling by their junglers. So not really a style that they had practiced a lot of. And you can see it, the side lanes. Duke, as you said, made some mistakes up top. Bang even made some uncharacteristic mistakes against NL, who is one of the underperforming AD carries. So when your side lanes aren't going to push up with you like that, it makes it really hard to utilize.
Yeah, and again, that's the important thing. It's not a single player doing poorly in SKT, it's the entire team right now. And then you can look at the pick and ban phase, and while the champions in itself are very, very strong, the way SKT are playing with them and with the mistakes in the early game, they don't work. And what ends up happening when they play against double teleport, as an example, you have this Azir sitting mid lane. Well, your side lanes are being pressured. You can't really do anything. Flash Wolves played such a clean game. The kind of style I actually expected to see at MSI. You know, double TP, 1-3-1, macro heavy, not that many kills. Instead, we get all these games where people are just kind of running into each other.
Well, and as we had this stumble from what we thought was going to be our tournament favorite, that gave an opening to teams like RNG and Flash Wolves, who now sit atop the standings fairly comfortably.
I think the thing about like RNG and Flash Wolves punishing SKT is when they group up mid, SKT's game plan is to prolong the stuff and really just get sieges going. But like RNG are collapsing them on multiple sides. If you look at the similarities, it's Sword Art and Mata doing very good engages on Alistar.
Definitely, I mean, two supports showing up. And it's funny we mentioned Alistar because he's probably been like the strongest pick.
He's got a
in this tournament.
100% win rate here at MSI.
Yeah, like this pick is too strong to kind of give over to the other team. Often it's actually the red side who gets it because you don't first pick the Alistar, you give it over instead, ban it away or take it on blue side. It is too strong because these supports have shown they understand how to start fights.
Yeah, and the other thing is that China and LMS have had success in different ways here at MSI. China actually, they're playing the game that China likes to play. I mean, they came in as the region with the highest kills per minute of any of the regions, but if MSI were a region, we would have the highest kills per minute of any of the regions, big top regions coming into this, just because that would make sense to anyone watching the games, how many kills that people have been throwing around. 23% more kills per game than the global average.
Yeah, 6 different regions came to China, and they end up playing China's game.
Except for Flash Wolves, yes.
Except for Flash Wolves.
That's
and
what we
that's
want
what I
to see.
say. They're doing it differently.
Well, and that's nice to see that there can be competing styles here, and that's going to kind of tee up our matchup. And let's jump into Flash Wolves a little bit, talk about this style that they played and how it might fare against RNG today.
Well, in the interview, I think both of these teams are looking to snowball mid. Sword Art and Karsa both believe that the most important lanes in the meta is the mid and the jungle matchup. And if you look at these mids, they're absolutely monsters. Maple, 11.4 KDA, that's the top in the league. 81% kill participation, also top in the league. If you look at Xiaohu, he's a damage god. 869 damage per minute. Highest in the league.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, those are some crazy stats. I mean, highest kill participation in the tournament as a mid laner is fairly odd. That's not something we see very often.
It also shows that Flash Wolves as a team, they don't really do anything unless Mabel is involved. Like, you don't get 2v2 kills in the bottom lane. We don't see MMMD soloing anyone in the top lane. So everything involves that mid lane. That's why Mabel is so important for this team and why Xiaohu has to be able to shut him down.
And everybody's damage per minute numbers are going up because there's so much fighting going on.
Yeah, so SKT losing 2 games yesterday was definitely a surprise. Another surprise for some people was Supermassive's victory over CLG. Let's talk about that one.
Okay.
I know it stings. I know it stings.
Yeah, but honestly, it was barred here from Dumble Doge. A huge play from him right there. CLG, honestly, them trying the Sivir pick here, picking it into the Lucian and leaving up barred. A lot of people have criticized them for a little bit maybe underestimating their opponents in the picks and bans and not, doing more target bans. CLG's motto coming into this was going to be respect all, fear none, but it didn't exactly look like they were following the motto.
It is okay, though, to fear certain lane matchups and then be like, oh,
like
we
the
actually...
Sivir into Bard Lucian.
Yeah, we don't want to lane this, let's swap instead.
Right.
I think CLG was saying we're playing Supermassive, we expect to be the better team, so we will show a few picks that might change the mindset of pick and ban when facing CLG in the future, like the Sivir, which we hadn't seen in NA before. Because it is a pick, if you do play it well, teams tend to ban it away because it is still very, very strong if you play it as a team. And they should be able to because they're built around teamwork.
And what they did show was show some of the weaknesses of the champion. Some people are just blindly like, perfect champion, pick it all the time. But obviously there are some weaknesses. Probably not quite all due to the champion,
don't die 4 times in a lane.
Yeah, a lot of them were also due to the person piloting the champions.
I really did think that Hui and Stixay got exposed a little bit. This is what we were saying coming into the tournament, that CLG has the weakest carries. And yesterday, I think props to the Turkish team. They did expose that.
And again, CLG and Turkey Supermassive will be playing again today. So that's a quick turnaround for a rematch between these two teams. We'll see if CLG maybe comes in and respects that a little bit more.
Yeah, they're very good at learning from their mistakes. I think that they will be able to regroup.
Alrighty, well, that leaves us with G2. The team still yet to pick up a win. Deficio, can they do it today?
He told me if they go 0-2 again, he's going to wear a dress tomorrow.
We heard it here.
Pretty bad bet from my side, I realized.
Shocks has some nice selections that you can pick from.
The thing is for G2 now,
you.
they should be able to beat Supermassive if we talk about G2 as a team normally. But this team
you
right
keep
here.
saying this normally.
Yeah, no, but like this team right now, I actually don't think they're favorites at all against Supermassive. I think it's going to be a very close game. And the thing for G2, honestly, they need to just stop thinking so much about, all these excuses and like all these problems they have, and just say, you know what, guys, let's actually just focus on the game.
Right.
Take a little bit relaxed when we're in there and communicate with each other, because they are good enough players, but they make so many stupid mistakes.
Exactly. They're not playing as a team, and there's these really basic things. They're not, timing cooldowns of teleports. They're chasing really far, not really accounting for where their opponents could be. It's basic communication between the guys.
Yeah,
It looks
it's
like
amateur mistakes.
It looks like the team is tearing itself apart from the inside. The Wolfpack, definitely a lot of infighting there.
Ultimately, maybe some focus issues there for that team, but we'll see. They still have some time to get it together and maybe make a run at that bracket stage. Now for a local look at the tournament so far, we're going to check in with Shox in the interview lounge.
Thank you very much, Dash, and no worries, the Fish Show. You can always borrow one of my dresses, maybe, if G2 go 0-2. We'll see what happens. But for now, though, I'm joined here by Cool, a very familiar face, of course, the long-standing mid laner for OMG. Very happy to see you again, Cool. And first off, tell me what it's like to have the mid-season invitational right here in your home country and in Shanghai.
首先呢，想问一下你觉得今年的 MSI 能在上海打，你怎么感觉？然后觉得现场如何？
我感觉现场就是气氛特别好，然后，毕竟是在自己的赛区举办比赛，然后，感觉也非常的有荣誉吧，同时也很开心，然后今天能够受采访。
So he's very happy to be here today, and he loved the crowd, and it's an honor to host MSI at China.
Yeah, and the crowd has been very, very loud as well, and then they need it because, Cool, of course, you are part of that legendary OMG lineup that did very well in Season 3 and Season 4. You also had the Starhorn Royal Club back then. Why do you think it is that in Season 5, the LPL teams didn't seem to show up internationally?
首先呢，你在 OMG 的时候打得非常好，然后在 Season 3、Season 4的时候你们统治了比赛，然后那时候皇族也非常厉害。但是到了 S5的时候呢，中国队LPL 队在外面有些失利，然后你觉得为什么会这样子？
我觉得就是当时也是，你能不能重复一下问题？就大概的。
就是为什么以前 S3、S4这么厉害，但是 S5的时候中国LPL 的队伍表现没有那么好？
一个就是当时我们队伍比较少吧，就是中国国内的队伍厉害的可能这个实力悬殊比较大，所以我们比较容易突围。然后到了 S5呢，就是韩援的加入，然后包括各个队伍慢慢的成长，然后想出线就变得非常困难了。
但是 LPL 为什么 S5表现不好？
就是因为韩援的加入。
So he think back in Season 3 and Season 4, there's less competition in China. Therefore, it's easier for them to go on the stage and to perform. But after S4, there's a lot of Korean imports and gets really harder. And he think Korean imports might be the reason why they falter at S5.
Well, the team that's topping the table here right now is that team comprised of both Korean and Chinese players. RNG has been doing really, really well. What have you made of their tournament so far, and especially their win over SKT yesterday?
但是 RNG 昨天的表现非常好，你觉得他们在这个比赛表现的如何？特别是他们昨天击败 SKT 的比赛表现怎么样？
我觉得昨天的 RNG 状态非常好，然后也在 BP 上面，我觉得比对面 BP 做的要好。然后中野的麻辣香锅和小虎的表现也非常的亮眼，他们完全的压制住了整个局面，然后节奏也在他们手里，所以很快的就是赢得了这场比赛。
So he think RNG performed really well yesterday. They did outpick and ban SKT. They did a phenomenal ban pick phase, and also their mid and jungler synergy is great. So that's how they'll be able to overshadow SKT's mid and jungler, and that's how they control the game. And they think it's a great victory.
Does he think that mid jungle control, now especially looking at Zhao, who might be enough to win MSI?
那你觉得RNG 有可能取得 MSI 的冠军吗？
我觉得 RNG 应该很大机会能进决赛。取不取得冠军要等后面的这个，因为这是毕竟刚刚开始，所以说形势还不是很明朗。但我希望 RNG 能够在这次 MSI 取得好的成绩，然后加油。
So he think RNG can make to the finals. Since it's still early in this tournament, he's not sure about what's going on next. So, but he think RNG has a good chance, and he'll cheer for RNG.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you very much, Cool, and have an awesome time here at MSI. For now, though, RNG is setting up on stage as they will be going up against the Flash Wolves in our first game of the day. So let's meet our casters, Spawn and Quickshot, and take us into that one.